start the YouTube piece. Hi, good evening. We'll get started in just one moment. Good evening and welcome. We are going to be talking about testing updates for parents of English learners. My name is Erin Lowry. I'm the ESOL Title I Educational Associate. Así es, más o menos. And Frazee? And we also have a couple of our ESOL teachers with us tonight, if you'd like to introduce yourselves. So we asked you to join us tonight because we would like to share information about the WIDA Access and WIDA Model tests that your students may be taking this spring. So we'll share some information with you, and then we'll have time for questions and concerns. So just some reminders before we get started. Please mute yourself if you're not talking. You can have your camera on or off, but please know that we are streaming this on YouTube as well. And if you would like to put questions in the chat box or wait, either way is fine. Okay, to start, I'll give you the short version of the tests that are available for our English language learners this spring. So WIDA Access is a longer test that our English learners take every year. But this year we also have the WIDA model, which is a shorter test that measures the progress that students have made during this school year. So students who take the WIDA Access and get a score of a 4.5 or above are no longer eligible for ESOL support. So for this year, for the spring of 2021, if your child is at a WIDA level 3.8 or higher, you should have already received additional information about this test from Baltimore City Public Schools, either in the form of a letter or a phone call. The test is available for students who are in person, but also for the students who are at home virtually if you as parents choose to allow your student to come to school to take the test. And if your child is below the 3.8 level and you want them to take the test, just to see if they're able to exit ESOL services, you are able to contact the school and let us know before May 14th so we can get that set up for you. So just a little bit more information about WIDA model and WIDA access. Because we have been out of the building for a long time and some students are back in person and we're getting used to having in-person instruction again, this is just to give you an overview of what the test might look like and what that means instructionally for your students. So WIDA model is being given currently to students who are in the school building and has already been administered to many of our students that are in person. The nice thing about this test is that it takes much less time than the WIDA Access, and it provides current, immediate information about how much progress your child has made in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay. For WIDA Access, that's the test that we normally take every year in January or February. But for this year, it's not mandatory for all English language learners, for all students. for this year, we have to administer it before June 4th, and it is not available for students to take virtually from home. We can only give this test in person. The WIDA Access does take a much longer time for students to take than the WIDA model, and it doesn't give us results until after the school year has already finished. No terminé de traducir todo. Hay un poquito que está en inglés. Okay, so just an overview again, because this is a lot of information about tests. So normally, in a normal year, English learners would have to take the WIDA Access and can only exit services with a 4.5 or above. So for this year, the Maryland State Department of Education updated their guidance so that it's an optional test. Baltimore City Public Schools decided to allow students at a 3.8 or above to be able to take this test if you as parents would like them to. So you as parents have options. If you have students that are in person at John Ruhr right now that have a proficiency level of 3.8 or above, you are able to opt out of testing if that is what you would like to do. Also, also, if any parent of an ESOL student can opt in to the testing by calling the school or Miss Frazee or Miss Sylvia or Miss Yara by May 14th. Either way, there is nothing that you need to sign. There is no paperwork. You would just need, oh, go ahead. But if your student is virtual, the school would like to know if they would like to take the test so that we can make the arrangements for you for bringing your student to the school in person. So some more considerations for you as parents. Your student having the opportunity to take this test means that they also have the opportunity to exit ESOL services. The loss of instructional time is in general limited. And then if they are in person, either way, they'll be taking the WIDA model, which will give us an idea of where they're at in person as far as their proficiency levels go. Okay. Just to give you an idea of how this information is being shared with our English learner or multilingual families. All families should have received a communication in the form of a phone call by April 26th. And then you should be expecting to get 1 to 2 pieces of mail. If your student is a 3.8 or above, you should have gotten a letter from the district, plus another phone call. And then there's also a letter that was sent from the school on Friday to all ESOL families. Okay. So if you have any questions or comments, if you'd like to unmute and let us know, or you can write in the chat, or you can write in the chat on YouTube if you prefer to do that. But please let us know if there's any other information that you would need as parents to help make your decision. Christopher Gomez? Mhm. That would depend on whether he gets a 4.5 overall when he takes the test. So the 3.8 is what was the district cutoff for offering the test. But the student would still need to score a 4.5 overall to exit from ESOL services. If that doesn't happen, then they would be taking the access again next year. Okay. No, that's completely your decision as a parent. And either way is fine. Mhm. He wouldn't be mixed with students that were in pods already for in-person learning. Definitely. Um, as far as with other students, I guess it depends on if there's other students who are in the same grade band that might be coming in who are virtual normally for instruction. But that information we don't have right at this moment. We would be able to tell you before it happened though, definitely. Are there any other questions? Ms. Montgomery also joined us, so if you have questions for ESOL teachers too, you're also welcome to ask those. I think we have another question. So as far as days right now, I don't have an exact date. I know it would be after May 14th, so sometime between May 14th and June 4th. But by the end of this week, I should have a better idea of how many parents want their students to opt into the test. And then that becomes a talk with Mrs. Donnelly about which day would be the best to bring them in and what rooms can we use so that we can keep everyone safe. Mhm. The only other thing that I could say about that is that most likely we're going to try to do this all in one day, which isn't ideal, but as far as bringing a student in person who hasn't been in person, that would be way easier for you as parents to only have to do this for one day, and then also for screening and to have lunch available and things like that. So the normal school hours right now in person are 8:30 to 1:30. And it might be a little different than that, but I would still think it would take several hours to do the whole test. Are there any other questions? I do see that there's people watching in YouTube. So if you are on YouTube and have questions, you can also put them in the chat there. And if you know other parents who might be interested, this is being recorded on YouTube, and we should be able to share the link in the parents' WhatsApp group and on Class Dojo after this. Okay. If there's no other questions, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. And thank you to the teachers who are here as well.